That's a form of cancer. And since she has lupus, the type of lupus she has, it comes from...
All right.
It comes from the mother. So if she has it, then the mother has to have it. So I look at my wife, I'm thinking, man, what in the world, God? If you was a dude, I'd fight you.
Yeah.
I'm just being real.
Amen.
So I'm frustrated. I'm like, God, wait a minute. I can't even touch my baby. Now my wife got cancer. And my baby got cancer too. And I go home and I look at my calendar and I see my calendar for the rest of the year. I got speaking engagement at churches. And I got concerts that I got to go do music at. I got conferences that I got to speak at. And I rip it off the wall and throw it in the trash. But I ain't doing nothing for you, God. You serious? Cancel all this mess. And I'm angry and I'm frustrated. I run to my closet. My dad comes over. He says, son, it may not be like what you want it to look like. But God wants it to look like what he wants it to look like.
Yeah.
I tell my dad, man, get out of my closet, man. Get out of my face. I'm not trying to hear you. You got 2 healthy kids. I ain't trying to hear that. My wife got cancer. My baby got cancer. I can't even touch my baby. I can't touch her. And I go to the hospital and I see people walking around holding their babies. And I'm mad. I'm frustrated. God, why in the world would you allow me to go through something like this? I prayed. I was faithful. I said you could do it. But you didn't even do it. So why am I lying to people? Why am I lying to other people? Trying to tell people how faithful and how awesome you are. And I'm at home crying every night. And I got to go preach at this church next week. I'm going to the hospital for hours and they say, Mr. Reed, you can't spend the night because it's the NICU unit. You got to go home. I got to leave my baby in the hospital. The one I just had, the one that's in so much pain. My blessing, I got to leave her for 8 hours and then come back and hope she was still alive. Yeah. We're at home. We get a phone call in the middle of the night at 4 o'clock in the morning. They tell me, oh, Jesus. That's the 4th watch. I didn't even think of that.
Wow.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
I get a phone call and say, your little girl, she flatlined. She had some complications with her tube. And oxygen and everything got backed up and she kind of flatlined for a little bit. We get in the car, we rush to the hospital, trying to go. We couldn't go because we couldn't be there at that time. So we had to wait. First thing in the morning, we get back there, there's doctors around the table, and she's fine, she's good. And at that moment, I said, God, you're going to have to help me because I'm at the point now to where I'm done with you. And if you want me to be a part of anything you have at all, you're going to have to fix it. You're going to have to fix it. The doctors come back and say, Mr. Reed, we did a report, we're sorry. We informed you the wrong way, but it's actually not lupus. It was just a little spot on her face. She's going to be fine. So I said, well, what about my wife? Oh, your wife is going to be fine. We misread the test. I was like, cool. I'm going to burn everything in here, okay? I'm going to burn it all up. Let me get my baby out first. Then everything else is going down, right? So my baby's in there. Then time progresses. 2 weeks go by, 3 weeks. And they say, Mr. Ridge, we're getting her off the machine. They put all the organs back in her body. They have to pull everything, her stomach. Did you see her belly now? You're like, what? It don't even look like nothing happened. They pulled a little belly back together. They made a little belly button. It looks great, right? So they pulled it back together. Long story short, my daughter's birthday was Friday. She just turned 6.
Amen.
Now you make it look like a little weenie up here. You know, God is good. So, give me life to Jesus. So Friday, her birthday was the 7th. She just turned 6 years old. It's weird. I know it sounds crazy, but my daughter loves God.
Amen.
Walks around singing all day, praising, oh, how he loves us. I mean, she's a blessing. She's a miracle. But this is the crazy thing. I went home that night, the night that it all changed for me. I went home that night, and the Lord said, I want you to remember 24 years ago, the story of your mother and father. I said, okay, God, and I'm going to make it all make sense. They're like, why you just have us cry for 10 minutes? He said, my mother calls me and says, I want you to know that God can fix it. And I said, Mom, I feel so down, I feel helpless. She said, when you were born, the doctors told us that there was a problem with your intestines.
Oh my God.
And she said that your father came home one night. Hey, I'm trying not to cry, I'm doing good, let me just look at something. Your father came home one night. He said, when he came home, he saw you laying in the crib. I can't see nothing else. He said that you were laying in the crib and you had turned blue. He said you were completely blue. My dad just walked in from work and I was 2 months. And he picked me up. He said your body was limp, your whole body was blue. And he said, what's going on with my son? And she said, I don't know, I just laid him down to sleep. And I was blinking real slow and moving real slow. They rushed me to the hospital. The doctor said, oh, he just has a cold, he'll be okay. My daddy got that 60-40 problem. He charged him up real smooth. They went to Baylor. You know what I'm saying? They were like, we're going to leave you. I'll be back. We'll talk about that later, right? So they went to Baylor. They go to Baylor. They say, listen, something's going on with my son. They said, Mr. Ridge, your son has a problem with his intestines to where he's been eating and something blocked it, but then another blockage came above the food, so now he's suffocating to death, literally. There's something wrong with his stomach, something wrong with his intestines. So they said, we got to do emergency surgery right now. So they take me to the back. They cut my stomach open. I got a scar to this day on my stomach. And they do surgery. And I'm in the hospital. My parents can't touch me for a certain amount of days. And they're waiting. They're hearing all these negative reports. The problem is that I completely forgot that God already did it for me.
Amen.
So while I'm in the middle of this storm with my baby, I'm charging God up. But he already did it for me.
Yeah.
How in the world can you allow your situation and your circumstance to have you so defeated that you forget that he's already done it for someone else or even you?
Yeah.
And I'm losing my mind trying to figure out why God is so evil, why God is so mean, and God is saying, I just need to pass by. I just need to pass by. Surely you'll remember, Bishop. Surely you remember, son. If you just let me pass by you, surely you won't forget. When you go home and look in the mirror and see the scar on your stomach, you can rejoice because I'm going to do the same thing for your baby. You might have some wounds and you might have some scars of some things you've been through in the past, but surely you can't forget that he fixed it then.
Yeah.
How can you forget the fact that God is a fixer?
Yeah.
He's a healer. He's a provider.
Yeah.
They're in this storm and the Bible says Jesus meant to pass them by, but then he steps inside of the boat and the storm stops. What I love so much about him is that Jesus will actually do what it takes for you to understand that he is the one.
Yeah.
He knew he could have passed them by and that should have worked.
Yeah.
But since it didn't, well, let me just come into your situation.
Yeah.
Let me just stop it all. Let me just stop. Not only will I come into your situation, I'm going to come in and I'm going to stand by the blessings that I gave to you earlier, and you're going to see the blesser in the middle of the storm.
Wow.
If you could get your mind to function, if you could get your mind to work in the manner of knowing that no matter what it looks like, Jesus is present.
Yeah.
Jesus can fix it. What I found out as his child, that when I give something to someone and I say, listen, can you hold this for me? I am placing responsibility on them. I'm giving the opportunity to trust them. That's what I'm doing. The Lord told me, Bishop, it's the difference between believing and trusting. Let me tell you what.